Mr. Ravichander. I want to ask you, considering there is already an attempt to murder charge, where does the case take? An apology is not going to suffice. A court is not going to take an apology as an excuse for him to be let off the hook, Mr. Ravichander.
Yeah, I find a very apparent contradiction in the action of the government of the state. On the one hand, you have a film actor who's remotely connected to the death of a person who dies in an accident in a stampede and he gets arrested. And in another case, you have an actor, public personality, who is obviously seen beating up somebody who's now in a hospital and he's not even arrested. And he's been only called with an invite to come for breach of peace. So I see a contradiction in that. This apology is too little too late. Yes, so chue ka ke billi haj ko chali is not going to work. I believe that the action of the man is a part of the persona. I also believe that unfortunately, journalists are soft targets. Very often, they don't have a real protective mechanism, except that they work together sometimes in a small minor protest. And after a day or two, everybody goes back to their roti pani work and the case is forgotten. But I think film actors need to understand they have a strong symbiotic relationship with the media. They survive because of the good that they get out of the media, their reviews, their thoughts, their public persona is built up as a character by the media. Therefore, there will be times when they are cross-examined, when they are examined, and his son is an actor. He has two sons and a daughter who are stars. So a public man's private life is public property. So to say that somebody was merging in or intruding into his privacy is not to be taken too far. Assuming without conceding that there was an intrusion on private life, that does not give you the right to get physical with somebody. And the degree of your physicality with the victim shows that you were showing absolute naked power, which in any civilized society is not acceptable.
I want to ask you that considering he attacked my colleague with the mic, and the mic is nothing but an iron rod. If you look at it as a bear, if you rip it off, all the mic IDs and everything, it's a rod. So can this be seen from the prism of murderous intent, as it were?
See, I'm sure at some point in time when the matter comes up for trial, that he should be charged for it. There is no two opinions. Absolutely no two opinions on that. He should be charged for using a dangerous weapon for causing, with an intent to cause death. I'm sure the forensic will start talking about it forensically at some point in time. But surely he will say that it was sudden provocation. Was it sudden provocation? Is the provocation and the action proportionate to one another? Are issues that are much later to be gone into. For the present,
Yeah, Mr.
it is
Ravichander, I
clear
also
that the use of the
Yeah, Mr. Ravichander, I'm sorry to interject in this fashion. However, I have another question to ask you, which is that considering attempt to murder charge has been he's been charged under this, he's been booked under it. He then said he was unwell and he was subsequently discharged from hospital because he's no more indisposed. The point is that don't you think the police can actually go and arrest him, or they can't?
That's a no-brainer question. He should be.
And that's being delayed. I mean, it is kind of being delayed, isn't it?
That's what I said. I'm surprised. You go and arrest a man who's remotely connected to the death of a certain person in one case, and in the other case, a guy who's directly involved in attempt to murder, you let loose of him for so long. I would have had the police first tapping at his door rather than at Allu Arjun's house.
Right. Also, Mohan Babu in his defense has said that he was trying to protect himself from some unruly, unnecessary.
After he's arrested.
I'm sorry, sir.
He will say that after he's arrested, not before.
No, he's
Who
already
speaking to.
He's already said that the apology letter that he has tendered, in that he says very clearly that I was trying to protect myself from some unruly antisocial elements. I mean, doesn't really hold water, does it, Mr. Ravichander? Very diluted.
Two things.
Yes, sir.
Two things. Please let us understand this. whether the action of his beating up somebody, you have photographic evidence of that, whether that is proportionate to his belief that he was being attacked and this is self-defense, a matter of fact that needs investigation. As of now, what you have on paper is that he attacked a man with a rod in his hand and the man is badly injured. He's in hospital. These are the facts. His letter to you, okay, let's take every case where somebody is attacked and he's in a hospital. Is the government going to collect apology letters from them and let go of them? Obviously, no. And the same standard will have to be applied to Mr. Mohan Babu.
Also, I want to ask you that, attempt to murder, and some lawyers have said that, that it could either be that or it could be life imprisonment. Would you like to speak on that, Mr. Ravichander? How does that work?
No, I would say that it's too premature an issue to be discussed about, because courts will look at the circumstance. They'll take a holistic view. They will take his defense. They'll take his character. They'll see what happened that evening. Because what happened that evening, one version is that there was a press conference. So if there was a press conference, as one version says, how is it intrusion into his private affairs? But if it was not a private affair, did Manoj call for a press conference? We don't know. The brother, there is a lack of credibility within the family itself. So how do you go around attacking outsiders for that?